How are y'all doing? It's early in the morning, I guess, right? So actually, I've got 15 years, but that's cool. That's old. So that probably came off my website, and I hadn't updated that. So in 5 years. But in this talk, I'm going to show you how to build a couple of widgets, live demos. So bear with me on that. And this slideshow is actually built in Elementor. So, yeah. So this is who I am. And I'm married, got 2 kids, beautiful kids, so great, 10 and 2. There's my 15 years experience, and I have a YouTube channel, so called WP Cliff Notes. So what do you do when you have your Elementor site, right? And you're searching for a cool module, or element or something like that, and you can't find it. So basically, before I found unlimited elements, which is what we're going to use to create an element, I would go and search for Elementor widgets in the WordPress repository, and I would install it. I'd find the widget I want, or widgets, right? I would install the plugin, and then they pretty much bloat it with like 20 or 30 widgets that you don't need. And some of them let you turn them off, and some of them don't. So it bloats your site, I feel like, when all you needed is one element. And this is what it makes me do. Every time, because I have a site that'll crash, and it's the plugin that I installed, right? So do you get frustrating? And do you get frustrated when you have to install a whole library or plugin, just for a single element or widget? And so if you install a full library, that could break your site, it could decrease page speed, and it could cause a lot of problems that you have to spend problem solving. And I'm just going to ask y'all, are there any other problems that you could see when you install a plugin that has 50, 60 elements that might make your site break? Can you think of any more than what I listed? Just throwing that out there. Okay. But there are a lot of problems that installing a plugin that has 50 or 60 or 30 or whatever elements when all you need is one. So, and to the rescue is unlimited elements. It's one plugin, and it's pretty much the only plugin that you need with Elementor, and along with a few others. Like, I've got a site right now that I have probably 5 plugins, and one of these is unlimited elements, and I can build my own elements. And so basically what this plugin lets you do is you can build global elements. You can restrict what the client can edit within the element that you're building, and you can pretty much create anything you want that has HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So, and this is how it makes me feel. This is how this plugin makes me feel. I'm like so happy because as a developer, I want to write code, right? And so this plugin gives me that ability. And now I'm going to do a demo. And that's all the slides I have. So basically, I am doing, let's see, we're going to view this site. So basically, actually, wrong one. I need this one. So basically what we're going to build is this little header. And you see it's using Headroom.js. Anybody heard of that JavaScript library, Headroom.js? It helps you let your header do different things and everything. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. So what I'm going to do is we're going to build out a page. So I'm going to say new page. And we're just going to call this WCGVL20. Oh, not 200, 20. 20. And we're going to hit publish. And right here is the Unlimited Elements plugin. And I'll just show you around the plugin before I get started. So basically, if you come into here, you would come to the the plugin. You would install Unlimited Elements for Elementor, and when you activate it, there's a free version and a pro version, and the only difference between the two is they give you some elements and the one thing I love about this plugin is because none of these elements are installed on my site until I hit install. So they're in the cloud, and when you hit install, then it gets installed on your site. So that's the one thing I love about this plugin is they give you the option to have elements, but they're not installed on the website. So the only way they're installed is if I hit install, which I've already said. But so basically, you can actually, one thing I love is you can import and export widgets. So you can take widgets from one site to another, which is super cool because you can export them out. And then it just has all these cool widgets that you can install if you want to. Like they're not installed on your site. So, and basically, you don't have to install multiple plugins that you can find certain widgets. So, so basically, I'm going to create one from scratch. I've actually bought the pro version because it's not that expensive. So we're going to create this right here. So basically, we're going to open this up. So, and we're going to make this header right here do that little scroll action. So first, let's get out of this. All right. And, all right, cool. So we're going to hit add new, and we're going to call this WCGVL20 header. And this one is super simple. So we're going to hit, let's hit tab, and we're going to hit, you don't need a description, so you can just add it. And first we need to go over here if I'm jumping around, you guys can ask questions, because so I'm jumping around, but we need to create the header first. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit theme builder. And to get to the theme builder, you probably know this already, but you have to have Elementor Pro for this, because without Elementor Pro, it doesn't give you the theme builder. So we're going to open this in a new tab, and we are going to come in here and we're going to duplicate this header. Let's see, edit. So basically, let's see, we're going to come in here and we're going to copy this just because I don't feel like recreating it. And then we're going to come over here to header, add new, WC, let's see, GVL20, header. Come on. No. Live demos. Always. Here we go. There we go. Bless you. All right, so we're going to paste this right here. So we have our header. All right. We're going to publish this, and we're going to save it just on that page because I don't want it to be on any other page. And I think we called it WC GVL 2020. So basically what this is doing is it's saying, I only want this header on this page. Like this header, it's the same header that's on every other page on this website, but the thing that I'm doing is only going to happen on this page. So we're going to say save. And we're going to come back over here to the widget. And so this is where all the magic happens. So with unlimited elements, you can, it gives you the ability to add an icon. So like when you're looking at the page, it'll show an icon like this, and it pulls from Font Awesome. So you can pick, I don't know, we're just going to pick this B right here. And you can pick, you can add a description, you can add the link. So like if you got this off a CodePen or something, if you got the example, the widget that you're wanting to create off a CodePen, if you found it on CodePen or something like that, and you want to paste the link right here, so when you come back and edit this, you know where you got the widget from. You can do that right there. Actually, this is new. You can add a link preview. So I don't really know what that is because that's pretty new. I don't usually mess with this. You can change the background color of the widget when it shows when you first come here. So let's change this to, I don't know. We're just going to change it to this orange color just because I'm an orange guy. So, and then we're going to hit update. Always make sure you hit update. We're going to add some elements or some attributes. So basically what this is going to do is it's going to give us the ability, because to make this work, you have to use an ID. It calls an ID. So we're going to call this element header ID. And I'm going to make it a text field because I want to be able to put anything I want in there. So we'll just hit add element. And next, so that we're not going to be using this HTML area because all I'm using for this is CSS and JavaScript, because we created the header with the theme builder. So the CSS is right here. Copy that. And we're going to come back over here and paste that right there. Update it. So the JavaScript, we're going to do the same thing. Paste it right there. And I'm going to put a hash right there. And so here's the variable that pulls whatever you put in here. So basically, I'm going to come over here to the JavaScript. I'm going to leave the pound sign, and I'm going to add that. So that's basically saying whatever you put in this field, and you'll see when I get back to the header what it looks like, which it's going to call. And let's see, yeah. And so now I'm going to use some CDNs. So just for this demo, it also gives you the ability to upload files. So if you found the CSS somewhere else and you wanted to load it from a file, you can upload that file here. And you can upload JavaScript, CSS, everything, and then basically, you'll see that in here, and then you click it here, and it'll put it over here. But since I'm using a CDN, I don't have to do any of that. So I just paste that in there and hit Tab, and then we're going to come back over here and paste this. And then paste it right there and hit Tab. Make sure I have everything. Yep, update all the CSS. I'm very picky about all this, so I want to make sure all the indentions are good, just because I'm picky like that. I'm going to hit save. No HTML, no item attributes. And the item attributes is for something like, if you know anything about ACF, there's a repeater. That's what this item attribute pretty much is it's a repeater for unlimited elements. So, but I'm not getting that complicated. I have some videos on my YouTube channel that talk about this. So if you wanted to get into that, you can check that out there. And we have the header ID. We could also add another attribute if we wanted to. It has all these different elements that you can use. We could add a color picker. That way we could change the color of the header when it scrolls if we wanted to. But for time's sake, let's just leave it like it is. And I'm going to make sure I hit update. We're going to come back over here. And I'm going to hit, let's see where it is. That's the page. Oh, yeah. So I need to add some content so we can actually scroll down the page. So I'm just going to insert this just so we have some content. I'm going to do away with some of this stuff. There we go. I'm going to get rid of that for the time being. All right. So now we want to come over here and we want to go back to the theme builder. So we're going to come back over here. We're going to go to theme builder. I'm going to open that in a new tab. And then we're going to come here. There we go. And so I'm going to add a new section right here. And so now I should be able to type headroom, or there it is. So there's our thing. So I added it there, and here I want this to be WC, let's see, WCGVL. And that's going to be my ID. And then we are going to come here, and we are going to do the same thing right here. So we're going to say WCGVL. And make sure that's exactly what I put. It'd be good if I just copied it, right? What are we looking like on time? Are we good? Okay. So let's see. This should work. So we're gonna try it. If not, you always can debug, right? Okay. So let's get here. Here we go. So I'm going to hit update. I'm going to view the page, and hopefully it works. Let's see. No. All right. So live demos. All right, so let's go back to the widget because there's something wrong. All right. Yep. Let's see. I knew this would happen in a live demo, you know. Okay. Oh, maybe it's this. Maybe. Nope. All right, well, I'm going to show you the one that I made that's a little bit, let's see. So this is the one I made last night. And actually, I put a color on this, but so this needs to be should work, hopefully. If not, I'm blaming it because it's a live demo. Yay, it worked. Okay, so I need to put a background color on that. So I did something wrong with the one I created here. So we're going to go, here we go. I think it's this one. Yep. All right. Oh, we need to put a background color. Yeah, that's a problem. There you go. So I'll actually export this one out. Wow, I'm super early on time. I might create another one. So that's what that does. Pretty simple, even though the one I created live didn't work. But I will give this one out. There's something different and about this one than the one I created on the fly. So, but that's how that works. Let's see. I can maybe show off some of the ones that I've created in the past. So that's, I think, are pretty cool. That let's see. Let's see if this one's still up. So this one's pretty cool. It's actually in staging right now, but this whole element right here uses advanced custom fields and unlimited elements. And so basically when you click this, it scrolls down, and this was made from a code pen that I found. So you can do some pretty cool things with it. It was made from a code pen that I found. I actually found it on. Have y'all seen the website Code Drop? Heard of the website Code Drop? So they had all the files and everything, and I made that, which was pretty cool. I've actually, let's see. I've actually made a couple more I can show you guys, and I'll give you guys these widgets too if you want them. Let's see. It's easier to hit this than remember the URL. All right. So let's go to pages. Yeah, let's go here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe this one. Yeah. So I made these with. I found these on a code pen, and I made these with unlimited elements, and I can kind of show you what I did. And this right here, actually, you can change the color. So when you click on this element, you can paste an SVG in here, all the code in here, right? For your SVG, you can type some text. You can change the icon color, the icon box color, and then the hover state for the icon box cover. And then you can change the text. And then you can change the value of the button, what's in the button. You can change the color of the button and the hover state of the button. You can change the link. And this is actually did somebody ask a question? Oh, I thought I heard somebody. You can actually, this is the same type of page picker that Elementor has. So if I type WCGVL, 20, that's the page I just created. It links directly to that page from that Read More button. And this was one of my first attempts at creating an element that I found on CodePen, which is pretty cool. And then this one is very similar. It's got some CSS, but it's pretty much the same thing. Like you can change the right here. You can change this text to anything. You can change this. You can change, this is all, and then your regular color and your hover color. So if we want to look at how this one's built, so I did use the HTML field. So right here, I used a text field for the number, a text field, the editor, and then the color picker. And I added some default values. So if you had a client and you could add some default values here, you just have to pick it. Like it's just a color picker, and Same thing for the box color. Let's see, the item attributes. Yeah, so this is all the HTML. It's 5 lines of HTML. And then you got the CSS. Oh, this is one of the cool things too. So you can add the values of the variables in CSS, which is super cool. All you have to do is you have to click that. Once you click it, it will add it right there. This is in the CSS area, and these are coming from the attributes that I created. And if there are more attributes, there's that expand button, and let's see, yeah. So a lot of these these variables, and sometimes it'll have if statements. Like you can run if statements inside of here. Does anybody know about Twigs? Has anybody heard of Twigs, the templating language? Well, he has documentation. That's what he uses for the if statements. It's super easy. Once you get the hang of it, he sends you the documentation and to the Twigs website. And if you have a reason for the if statements, then there'll be a little link down here that will give you all the if statements and stuff like that. Let's see. What else? Does anybody have any questions? What's up? Oh, the paid version and the free version? So the paid version gives you, and I think I have, see where it says Pro, and there's some free elements. So, and these elements aren't installed on your website. These are in the cloud. So they're only installed on your website when you hit this install button. So that's the one thing I love about this plugin is you can install it, but it doesn't install 20 or 30 elements on your website that could slow your website down or cause problems, with the plugin update, plugin conflicts, because they're only installed when you hit that install button, which is super awesome. Sorry, I can't hear you. Yes. Yeah, like you get all these pro versions will say, I think it says web. Yeah, it says web. So yeah, let me show you. I have some examples, actually. That example that I showed you earlier. This one right here. Actually, this uses ACF and the if statements and everything. So let's see if I still have. This is a website that I started building when I was with the agency that I was working with, but hopefully the login hadn't changed. I was going to show you. They're in here, so they'll be all right. I'm good friends with them. So, I still work with them. And it's Drum Creative, by the way, so if anybody knows that agency. So, there you go. So, basically, I'll log in here and show you. So, all right. So basically, right here, you can use, it says use dynamic content, and you click yes, and all the ACF fields are right here. right there. They're just ACF fields, and they're pulling from a post type. So let's see. Yeah, this post type right here. So all these, it's a post type, and so you tell it to pull dynamic content. Then you just pick one of those items from the post type, and then you say use custom fields. Yes. You don't have to say use post content. And then all I have for this is 2 elements. And so this one is the RD grid. And actually, you need the Pro for this now. They moved this over to Pro. So you can't use this with the free version, which is not true, which was not true when I built this. So, you edit this, you would add your title, you would say post list. Now, again, you have to have the Pro version for this. Yeah, well, not really. Like, when I built this, it was a free, it was part of the free plugin. So, and I guess I need to go back to the agency and say, hey, you might want to buy the Pro version for this because this is one of their big clients. So, but, I mean, you can use ACF without using this post element or this post list. But what this post list gives you the ability to do is pick what you want to filter. So, like, what post type you want to filter. So, I mean, I suggest buy the Pro version for some of those. Things, and then I just change the hover color. I just have a color picker, and for the hover color, and I'm not using the item attributes here. And the HTML is this and then this right here. So I am using an item HTML. And basically, this says take all this HTML and repeat it, pretty much. So maybe I am using that's what this post grid does, is it gives you the ability to repeat. So I don't have to use the item elements and then the CSS. I mean, it's just basic CSS with a little bit of I probably use the color overlay in here somewhere. JavaScript, there's a ton of JavaScript for this. And then, and that's pretty much it. And then when you go to, let's see what, I think it's this one. Well, it's almost time. So basically, when you click on this, let's see, click on this. All right. So basically, there's your hover color, and that's your, and then here's where you pick your query, what query you want to pick from, which you say custom post, and then you pick what post type you want to filter from. And you can pass custom IDs, so you can write some queries, some WP queries, and pass that through here if you wanted to on certain things. And then over here, you can change the way, actually, none of this is for that. It's just this right here. But, yeah, so that's how that works. That's how the post grid works. Does anybody have any more questions? Any questions? Has any of this made sense? Okay. Yes?
One of the things you said I didn't hear it, but one of the cool things about this plugin is that you can take any of those hundreds of widgets that they've already built and modify them.
And modify them, yeah. Yes, and I can show you that.
It's pretty helpful if you're trying to teach yourself how to
Yes. So, yeah, so let me get out of this site. No, it's not. It's with a free plugin. So if you install this, and it looks like I only have like maybe five minutes or so, so this is perfect. So you can come in here and you can modify it, you know. You can, see it gives you that's where you do the live preview, I guess. And then you can come in here to the attributes, and you can delete some if you don't want them. You can add some if you want them. It's just like creating one from scratch. So then you can change up their HTML if you wanted to. So basically, like you said, if you're trying to teach yourself how to use this plugin, that's probably the best way to do it. Is you take the free version, install one of their pre-made ones, and then just play around with it. So, and here's all the variables that they created. And something I will say, so this right here, which is, I like it a lot because if you have the same widget, in multiple columns, and you don't use an specific, this ID or this serial, so basically what this does is if you put this, there it is right there. So basically if you don't put this in here, then the CSS is going to be the same thing for each widget. So what you'll want to do is come in here like this and add a specific ID for that button. So each time it's put in a separate column, it will be a unique CSS. It will be unique. Does that make sense? Nod, heads, yes. Okay. All right. So these are good to use when you are wanting each widget to be a different color. And that's what I've used that unique ID with the most. So, so yeah, you can do a lot of things with this plugin, and it's super awesome. I actually talked to the guy who created the plugin, and he's super cool and very easy to talk to, take suggestions. And I'm going to take credit for this, so because I reached out to him. I bought the plugin like when it was on CodePen. Now it's not on, or not CodePen, but Code Canyon, and it was like $29. And now it's $99 a year, or something like that. Something, yeah. They also have lifetime. Yeah, they have a lifetime membership too, and mine's a lifetime, which is I bought it for $29, and it's a lifetime deal. So, because that's the one thing when I bought the plugin, right after I bought the plugin, it went to on his own website, and I was like, whoa, 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 like, is mine still going to work? And he was like, oh yeah. So. So yeah, you can use this for anything, but I do suggest buy the Pro if you want to like really get advanced with this. So that's my time, and I appreciate y'all showing up to my talk. And if you have any, I'll have the slides up this evening, and I'll have some widgets for download, so you guys can download the widgets that I've created. And y'all have a great rest of your day and a great camp. So.